This time I've got 2 GoPro cameras. I've been using different cameras. This time I got 2 GoPros. I got 2 media mods on it, 2 mics on it. So hopefully I get enough here that I can put together a video. Sometimes the audio's off, sometimes it's just, last time I went out, a pretty good video, but the audio had too much wind in it on one of the mic, well, the main mic that I was using, so that didn't work. But we'll see what happens this time. Like I said, kind of losing faith in it, but I know sooner or later I'm going to nail it. Yeah, I like to do these ride-alongs. Gives me something to do while I'm riding. It's probably not interesting to anybody else, but hey, what the heck. You can enjoy a ride with me, why not? So here we are coming from beautiful New Hampshire. Cars in back of me. I do have radar on this bike, which is good. I get an audible beep and I check my mirrors. I can also see them on the unit that does it. They're just little blips, so it's like a little dot, but if there's 3 dots, it means there's 3 cars back there. It's a Garmin, and I've got there's a light radar thing on the back that I bought. The thing works pretty darn good. I'll tell you, if you ride on the road, something you ought to invest in. You know, I'll be riding along. I usually check my mirrors. I got 2 mirrors on this, but you know, sometimes you're not paying attention. That car sneaks up on you, and it's good to have that beep. You know, I'm into a different town now. I usually hit 3 towns on this run. Puts me at about 17 miles, I think. So it's a pretty good run. I usually run out. I try to do more. I usually go out, I try to do at least 20. Sometimes I push it out. I got another route, it'd be 29-ish, you know. That's what I like about this bike. Just get out and cruise. I got 4 bikes presently, so each one has its different theme. One of them really is my wife's bike, but don't tell her that because she didn't want me to buy her a bike. So it's my loaner bike. Hey, you got to do what you got to do. So far, I've had her on it once. She very much enjoyed it. Just got to get her out there again. This is kind of my fault too. I've been pretty busy lately. Got to get in there and say, let's go, you know. So she gets out there, she enjoys it. This little gate here that you can probably see is a rail trail down underneath us right now. It goes underneath the road. Kind of a sketchy tunnel. It's dark and small, but it works. There's actually one that goes under the highway up further that is really dark, really long, and a little bit bigger, but you got to ride on, they have like boards on the floor, and you literally got to duck to go through it. So if I put my head up, I hit my helmet on it. So, and like I said, it's pretty dark. It's got a decent light on this though, so. Usually, this one here, I'm not taking up the rail trail that much. I'll get on it for a little bit as a cut through. It is dirt. I do have a different set of tires on this bike. That it came with street tires. I put a little bit of a knobby, but it's not really a knobby. It's a street and trail tire. So it's quiet. It doesn't make any noise. All you hear on this bike is the whir of the motor, which I can't stand. It makes noise because it's a gear-driven motor. I kind of wish that they would put direct drive motors on it, which is not supposed to be as good, but you can't hear them. They're not supposed to be as torquey, but I guess, you know, I've heard there's really no difference, actually. The direct drives tend to have a little bit bigger motor in them. The gear drivens have smaller motors, but they use about the same energy, so you're not gaining anything. And so I don't know, they're more money too, the gear driven. But like I said, that noise you hear is the whirring of the motor. I have a X Premium at home, which is a mid-drive, and the motor's in the pedals on that thing. You don't hear that, and that's one of the reasons why I really like it on the rail trails and the trails. You know, people don't hear you coming. Not that says e-bike, so you know, I don't know. For the most part, I go out. People I meet on the trail, they want to know about the bike. They don't really, you know, you're not supposed to be out here type thing, but it's happened. I just go, it's considered a bicycle in the state of New Hampshire, and then ride away. You know, why argue with them? Everybody's always going to be right. This road here used to be a road full of potholes and cracks, and it's a nice ride, but it was not a nice road. Nice and paved now, love it. Boy, got a skunk smell out here. This is all conservation land on the left-hand side here. Goes down to a reservoir, and we'll be going by the reservoir. Should have probably thrown my 360 on here too, so I will at some point. I'm going to try to ride with 3 cameras when I do this. It'll give me a lot of angles. I tell you, the more angles, you know, the more anything that you can put together, the better it'll be, because you can pick and choose. So I started out with crappy cameras though. I said, you know, we'll get a knockoff GoPro. They got to be just as good, right? I mean, why pay for the name GoPro when you can buy a camera that for an eighth of the price, and it's just as good, right? Yeah, no. I tell you, if you're ever going to do this, go with the GoPro. It'd be one thing if we weren't riding around, but the stabilization on the cheaper cameras is not even in the same ballpark as the GoPros. So these GoPros look pretty good when you look at them. The other camera's really shaky. I mean, it's unusable, let's put it that way. That was some of the mistakes that I made. And learning, buying the cameras, buying the mics, bought cheap mics, bought these things called rats to go over the mics to get rid of the wind noise. That didn't work, so ended up going with the good mics, and good, you know, got the rat tails on those too, but they actually work nice and clear. Geez, you know, what time is it? Not even 7:30 yet. The sun's going down. We're losing this freaking summer. I hate to say it. That's why I want to go south. I got 4 more years till I'm officially retired. And we're going down south somewhere. Initially we were thinking Florida. I wouldn't mind going to Florida. I want to go down to the villages and you know, get a golf cart, drive around, and there's just so much going on in the villages. You can't get old in there, because there's just so many activities, and everything's accessible by golf cart, which is great. I mean, I have some in-laws down there, and they're well into their 80s, and I'll tell you, they would be in, they want to think assisted living. I almost think they've passed that point where they need to go into a nursing home, but they're surviving at home. The two of them together is what's surviving. I think one alone, it would definitely be nursing home, because they're both blind as a bat, and you know, they gave up the car, which is great. They're still driving the golf cart. They go to the doctor's visits in the golf cart. That's why I want to go down there. I mean, you can continue your life in a quality way, and I definitely want to. But the housing insurance is so freaking crazy down there right now. Yeah, we're going by the reservoir now. It's, they got motorboats in this reservoir. It's a pretty good sized reservoir. I mean, not a lot of, I don't know if they have restrictions on how big the motor can be. I'm assuming they do, but I don't know that. But you can't stick your foot in it. I got a friend that's got a kayak and stuck his foot in the water, got yelled at by the water police or whatever, and you know, now he wears boots when he goes kayaking in here. So I just think it's crazy. You can't stick your foot in the water, but you can put a motorboat in the water. But I don't know. They know better. I don't know anything about maintaining quality of water. So the rail trail that I was talking about is actually coming up. I don't think I'm going to hit it though. It's be too dark. Cameras are on. I'd be fine, but the camera's probably not going to pick up a lot. So we'll just keep going down the road. We got a rotary coming up. Rotaries are always fun. So one of the reasons why, you know, I've done a couple things to make this bike faster, and the reason why I do that is when you're on the road and you're playing with cars, you've got to be able to get out of their way. You've got to be able to move with them somewhat. I mean, you can't keep up with their speed, but they got a motorcycle coming up, and I don't know if you can hear that beeping or not. That's my thing. So it's even catching a motorcycle. It's pretty darn good. Like I said, if you're going to ride on the road, you really should look into those things. Got a guy on there that on YouTube I watch, and he rides around, talks like I'm doing now, and I watch him all the time. He's interesting, and you know, I hope you guys find me somewhat interesting. So I sit there and have my breakfast in the morning, drink my coffee, and see what he's got to say for the day. You know, he does a lot of bike reviews, but he talks a bunch of stuff, you know, mostly about bikes. And he's, you know, I find it interesting, but lost my train of thought what I was going to say about it. He prefers riding on the road also than the trails, because you know, you just end up with a lot of people on the trails that are going slow, and the trails are only, I don't know, 8 feet wide. And I don't know why, and I guess I do know why. They're enjoying talking to one another and enjoying their walk, and I get that. A lot of them have, I don't know, you probably average 7 miles an hour when you're on the rail trail. So I'd rather do what I'm doing now. I do like the rail trail though when I got my other bike, but I tend to head out in places where people aren't. I mean, the rail trail is real populated around the city, and then you get out further, and that rail trail kind of degrades a little bit. But you know, I'm on a bike that can take it, so what do I care? Sorry, I had to negotiate getting across the road there. So anyways, you want to be able to get out there and move, is what I was saying, like that rotary. You just want to get out there like a car, and there's no reason why on a rotary you can't be doing the same speed as them, and don't give in to them, you know. That's how you're going to get hurt is you know, the car's trying to do you a favor and slow down, and you're slowing down, and you're like, no, go, and he goes, and next thing you know, you've got a disaster. So just get out there and act like a car. You know, you have the same right as a car, so why not use it? It's safer. And, you know, I've taken some criticism for the bike. Why do you need to go that fast? I'm on these groups, so let me explain that. So you got a lot of different opinions. There's a lot of older people. I think the demographics on these e-bikes is, you know, tends to lean to the older people. And I mean, this is great exercise. Get out there and exercise for sure. And it's, you know, every one of the people that I know, when you talk e-bike and you say exercise, they look at you like you're crazy. And it's like, no, you don't understand. You get exercise. But they don't understand that, you know, I go out and, you know, they think of a bike ride, they think of, I don't know, 1 to 5 miles probably, and you know, so I want to do 1 to 20 on the minimum. So you get more exercise if you're doing more, like anything else, you know. It may be less strenuous, but I'm 63 years old. I don't want to go out there and pedal like a madman. If I can get on this thing and have some assistance out of the pedals, and I can adjust the assistance also. So I run in 3. And again, on these groups, it's like, you run in 3? I run in 1 all the time, you know, and I get, you know, 1,000 miles out of my battery. And well, what the hell did you buy an e-bike for, you know? You don't spend, well, you can probably buy these for as little as $1,000, but you can buy a lot of regular bicycle for $1,000. So I mean, the one I'm on now is about, I don't know, 18, something like that. And I bought it because it's an e-bike and it's going to assist me, and I'm going to use that power that I can use. So, but like I said, there's a lot of people out there that you know, their idea of biking is traveling at 5 to 7 miles an hour, and they drive around their neighborhood and they say hi to all their neighbors, and you know, like I said, I think it's great they're getting out there, so I'm not gonna say anything bad. So I think it's great, but the you know, that's what they're doing and what I do is 2 different things. I never putt around my neighborhood. I can't wait to get out of my neighborhood because the road's so freaking bumpy. But you know, you get on there and for instance, this bike is supposed to get they claim with the dual batteries on it, you get up to 150 miles out of it. Some people online, and I guess I believe them, you know, say they did 180, 200 miles out of it. I guess if you live in Arizona and there's not a hill to be found, and you don't have a lot of stops, and you just get on a road, because stopping and starting eats the battery alone. So to get that kind of mileage, you'd have to be flat. You'd have to be riding at, I would assume, a moderate, speed. Have the pass set low, doing most of the pedaling. And there's a lot of people out there. I had a thing, with range anxiety. So I batteried up this bike. I can put so many batteries on this bike that I can do 150 miles with it. So, but their fun in riding that bike, I guess, is to see how long they can stretch their battery out. And hey, like I said, they're getting out there and riding. That's the positive thing about it. So nothing wrong with some exercise. And no matter how you want to enjoy it, everybody's got different things they enjoy. So, some people like to watch sports. Me, not really at all. There are some things, I'm up here in New Hampshire, so if the Red Sox happen to be winning that year, I might watch some games, but I'm not really into watching sports, but a ton of people enjoy it. So, like I said, everybody's got different things they enjoy. I enjoy working on the bike. That's another thing too that people don't understand. So, I've done all kinds of crazy stuff to this bike, to my other bikes, constantly doing stuff. I built this crazy ass bike just because I wanted to. It's got motor in the back, motor in the front, big, size motors compared to this thing. It's not fast. It's like a 31 mile an hour bike. But it's 31 miles an hour going up the hill, 31 miles an hour going down the hill, 31 miles an hour on the straight. It doesn't really slow down. So, it does slow down. You can get it slower, but it's just a constant speed. That's what I run it at. If that's what I'm feeling like, I'd love to take it down the trail where it's all-wheel drive. And that bike doesn't have gear-driven motors, so it's quiet. I can't believe that thing's got 5-6 times the motors on it that this does, and it's whisper quiet. I hate the fact that we're losing the sun. Like I said, I'm an outdoorsy kind of guy, and it kills me to be in all winter, and I hate the freaking cold. I used to tolerate it, and I don't know. I guess I'm over it. To get a snowblower, and lately, okay, you get a storm and you get a foot of snow, you get out there and you clean it up and you feel like you did something. And lately, the last 3-4 years, we get 2 inches of snow, 3 inches of snow, 2 inches of snow, 3 inches of snow, and you got to go out and clean it up. And it's like every other day, It's almost like the summer. All it did was rain. Now we get a little break from the rain, and the summer's going to be over. So, it rained earlier today, rained yesterday, rained the day before, and that's why I want to get out tonight and enjoy myself for a little bit. Like I said, though, here it is, 7:42, and I'm losing the sun. But whatever. Let's see. Probably go. That actually goes back to where I was. Kind of a shitty ride down here, but we'll head down there. Usually, if I'd go straight, and I'd pick up a paved rail trail down farther, and that's brutal for me. It's a gorgeous trail, but there are so many people on that trail because it is a nice trail. It's paved. People have strollers on it. There's wheelchairs out there. There's a little bit of everything, so it tends to be a slow ride. And you know, I try not to bother people. I mean, you can go out there and just hang back, give them a little bell, let them know you're coming. They get out of the way, they get out of the way. You know, it's all good. I'm not going to blast through them or get pissed off that they're on the trail. Got a car sitting here pacing me. Thank you. I hate when cars pace me. They think they're doing you a favor, but they're not. This is an interesting road. So, not allowed on the sidewalk. I mean, bikes are not allowed on a sidewalk. But this road gets pretty narrow with cars. This right here is not too bad, but it does get narrow. You get the stupid curb on the side that you can slam your pedal into and then wipe out. You got storm drains that are, you know, down. Some of them 2-3 inches down. I've seen them 4 or 5 inches down sometimes. So hit the light this time, which is good. Actually knocked the pass up so to get through this thing. So. A lot of bikes out tonight. Talking about motorcycles. It's a nice night for it though. You know, like I said, they've all been trapped in the house with all this rain. Can't get out there on a motorcycle in the rain. I don't like to take the bike out either. Not so much because it's an e-bike or anything. I hate cleaning it. I actually like cleaning it, but it aggravates me when it gets dirty, so. One of the reasons why I haven't hit the rail trail this year as much as I want to with my other bike. There's a ride I want to do, and I keep saying I'm going to do it, but I haven't, and it's just so freaking muddy out there. The mud in these trails because of all the rain this year is terrible. So continue on straight. I had a little mixed emotion whether I should hit that side street, but I'm going straight. It's definitely well, it's 7:47 right now. I don't see any sun anymore, so I think it's sundown. There's a red glow. There's no ball in the sky anymore. So in a situation like this, I use my throttle to get going. So, I mean, I just for a split second there. But it's easier than trying to pedal and get started. Like I said, bought an e-bike, use it. And even getting through some of these intersections from a dead stop, like I gotta wait this one out. I'll bring my gears down. I probably won't wait the light out. But maybe I will. car and back. I mean, I know people curse at cars. I do too. I mean, curse at bikes. When I'm in the car sometimes, I mean, I curse at stupid bikes. You know, the bikers that want to, and I'll tell you a story in a second. So the ones that want to ride out mostly in the road and really basically want to establish that you know, they have the same right as you in the car, they aggravate. So the story is, the guy that I listen to, you know, he says, and it's not like he gets in the middle of the road. He tries to let the cars go by, but he gets out there on the road. He doesn't hang on the side like I do with the line that I try to stay behind. You know, because to him, and he has a point without a doubt. You're allowing those cars all the room, and they don't go around you. It is a, you know, a lot of cars will go around. They'll give you space, which is great. But a lot of them just, you know, it's like, oh, they're on the side of the road. I'll just get real close to them and drive by. And it's a little freaky. So, like, I try to stay in this line here, but you see this curb here? I would wipe out if I hit my pedal on that curb. So, it's tricky sometimes. I mean, I can't stay inside of that lane, so. Actually pretty near my house right now. Probably end up calling it a night because, like I said, lost the sun, and I don't want to, I got lights on this thing, but it's not a good practice to be riding at night with cars and stuff. Especially night brings out the drunks too, you know. So, all right, I'm gonna sign off here and head home. You have a good day now. Bye.